What happens in therapy? I probably hear that question more than any other, especially from people who have never been in therapy before. I understand the question. I remember my first time in therapy. I had no idea what to expect, so I want to answer the best I can. First, let me say that every therapist is going to be different. Unlike physical medicine, where there are some general consensus about how a body functions, behavioral and mental health therapy, what counselors provide, have varied approaches. There are many very helpful ways of approaching therapy, and each way is seen differently through the eyes of each therapist. Further, you are different from every other client that will walk into a therapist's office. You are different. That therapist is different. How do you pick a therapist who will work best for you? I encourage clients to look for a therapist whose personality and approach best fits them. That means two things. First, you feel comfortable personally with a therapist. The relationship with your therapist may be the single most important factor helping you. Second, check to make sure the approach the therapist uses is something that makes sense to you. If you're seeing a therapist, you're likely struggling with something. You don't need to add the extra burden about an approach that doesn't seem to make sense to you. Personally, there are perfectly good approaches to therapy that just don't connect with me. They do with others. It's your time, your life, and your money. Find a therapist that fits you. Every therapist has a different way of getting started. I have clients fill out a questionnaire, others don't. That's up to each therapist. However, in some way, the therapist will want to know what's giving you problems, how long you've experienced those problems, and what seems to help and make things worse. Therapists may or may not want to know your history up front, but don't be shocked when they ask. After all, a lot of what we experience today was built on the experiences of our past. Sometimes those include your past and current physical conditions or medications you're taking. A brief way a lot of therapists talk about their work is we're going to hold up a mirror to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and together talking about what we see is happening. No, we will not hold a physical mirror. What a therapist will do is use his or her knowledge and skill to help you consider what you're thinking, feeling, and doing, and look for new ways of understanding and behaving that will make better sense to you and make life easier for you. They can have an impact on your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Therapy means that you will need to make some changes. I find people don't always feel comfortable about changing or even admitting they need to change. It's always easier to expect someone else to change. However, you can't control someone else. The only changes you can make are the ones you can make. That brings me to the most important secret I can tell you about therapy. No matter how good the therapist or how well you feel they fit you, the real work of therapy is what you do between sessions. Research suggests, and my experience finds, you will need to present weekly to therapy to make progress. And of course, you will need to reflect on what you discover about yourself in therapy and make the changes you need to make for therapy to help you. The bottom line is this. I believe therapy can help anyone, but everyone in therapy has to want to get better and do the work for therapy to be helpful. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Life Matters. If it's been helpful, please hit those like and subscribe buttons in YouTube. If you're watching me on Facebook, please like my page and share it with your friends. Most of all, come back to see me for the next episode of Life Matters.